It's nerve-wracking.
Well, welcome to Cafecito con Pastor Bill and Lisa today. Look at this. Hey, okay.
Cheers.
And so we invite you to join us and are glad to welcome you on this is our last Cafecito por el año. You know, here's Christmas is coming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess Christmas is next week. So we welcome you. And today, especially, I'm very happy to have Lisa with me today. And our topic is going to be whatever you make it. We're happy for you to show up. Let us know that you're out there tuning in and let us know who you are and where you are. And then any questions you want to ask, we'd just like to take them and respond. We'll see what happens. So happy to have you with us today. You ask questions, we'll answer. That sounds dangerous, actually. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
I don't know about any questions.
Yeah. But we hope you're doing well. Yeah, there's a great question. Yeah. How has COVID changed your married life? So why don't I listen and learn as Lisa tells us?
Well, I know that for us, for a long, long time, both of us were working away from home during the day. And then we would meet back up, you know, at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening and, you know, prepare for dinner and have a few hours together. And then in the last year and a half, I've been home more if I haven't been with our little grandchildren or been, you know, or maybe a part-time job that I've had occasionally. But I was home a lot more. And then all of a sudden, we're both home with COVID all the time. So that was quite an adjustment.
Not home with COVID, but COVID makes us stay home.
Yes, COVID makes us stay home. We did both have COVID for 9 months, but we did stay home. And so we had to figure out, how do we be in each other's space all the time? Because we hadn't been in each other's space all the time. Right. And that, I think that took us a little while to kind of say, okay, the expectation level of us always, so the time that we did have, the 2 or 3 hours in the evening, we pretty much connected. And we would, even though we would go our own way for a little bit, we would watch a show together on TV, or we would work on dinner together, or we were just, our attention was focused a lot on each other during those couple of hours in the evening, which now we couldn't do that for 14 hours a day. So we had to learn how that this is Bill's workspace and this is my workspace.
We created some new boundaries. Mm-hmm. That's one of the clear ways that we adjusted to it. We both have responsibilities that still have to be fulfilled. And, you know, a lot of mine requires quiet study time in order to prepare for messages and meetings, et cetera. And so,
lots of Zoom calls, which I couldn't be making noise in the background.
Yeah.
So we kind of set up an office for me in the back of the house in one of our a bedroom that we've turned into kind of a library. And then Bill had usually either the space by the computer in the front of the house or else off the dining room table.
And then we sort of adjusted along the way because things get boring. And so we tried to freshen it up. So, hey, Anna, hi.
Hi.
I'm working, but I saw your notice and I had to see your faces and hear your voices. So it's great to see your face on your photograph with Joe. Yeah. And I'm remembering the wedding that we were privileged to be a part of. So happy to see you also from a distance waving masked this weekend, but it's great to see you, and thanks for checking in today. We're just doing like an open-ended Q&A, and the first question was, how has COVID changed our lives? And we were just explaining how it created some new space, some new requirements in our doing our responsibilities, and then how we interact with one another. So it definitely.
So I had to deal with the fact that, you know, we both took care of our own lunch. That was one of the things.
Yeah.
Because it felt like we weren't used to having to think about having lunch together every day. So we just decided, you know what, when it's time for you to eat based on your meetings,
Take care of yourself.
then take care of yourself. So you would go to the kitchen and fix your own sandwich or your own bowl of soup or whatever. But it wasn't like, oh, that was a time to sit down and have community with each other. But we had to establish that because it felt awkward at first. It felt like I was supposed to be
Merry
fixing
Christmas
lunch.
to you too.
Oh, Pat Henderson.
Yeah.
Hi, Pat.
Hey,
So
I was
good to
talking
see
with
you.
Leslie yesterday about her Spode collection, and Lisa, it's the time of year when we break out our Christmas dishes as well, trying to keep some holiday in a very like cloistered thing. But then Leslie said, if you think I have Santas, you have to ask Pat about her Santa collection. So I'm thinking maybe you've gotten a few Santas out this year. I hope you have. But anyway, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
And dealing it without affecting the relationship.
Yeah.
And then can you believe how much has changed in a year? Yes.
Yeah.
We learned very quickly how to deal with stress without letting it affect the relationship. Well, yeah, that's wise.
It is.
One of the things
you're celebrating something special this week?
The little birdie should have put it in the past tense. Actually, my birthday was yesterday, so I'm still celebrating. Actually, Lisa would tell you I've been celebrating all month.
All month. In December, the 1st of December.
I said, it's my birth month. So, and then it was my birth week, and yesterday was my birthday.
All day.
And so I did get a telephone call from my mother who said, Billy, years ago, they didn't know if we were going to make it. Actually, it was 65 years ago. So when people say, how old are you, Bill? I say, well, can you say Medicare A?
Part A.
Plan A? Anyway, the government requires you to do something. So I've done that. But the real celebration has been right here. And then I'm telling you, an amazing surprise visited me yesterday when our church staff showed up in a video that was it was outrageous.
It's on
it was
Facebook.
Funny.
If
it
you want to see it.
It was touching. It was a surprise to me. It was so meaningful. So to everybody who was a part of that, thank you so much, including you. Because you made a cameo appearance there.
I know. It just was a divine appointment. I happened to be walking through church and Charity goes, oh, can you be in this for just a second? So it was fun. It was really fun to be in a video wishing Bill a happy birthday. And several people got to do that. It was very special.
That was fun.
So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna.
And my mother was reliving with me that moment. And she said, the doctor came out and told your father, we don't know if they're going to make it. And you have to pick which one. And I can't imagine what that felt like to my dad. Yeah. But what he did was then call his mother, who was connected to praying women at their church. And she alerted all their prayer warriors and praying women. And man, they prayed us both through. Yeah. And so we're so thankful for praying women at church.
And that both of them lived. That you and your mother both lived.
Now look, my mother's checking in. Hey, mother, now a senior citizen. What are you talking about? Okay, if what you mean, show some respect. Yeah, I can feel that.
You get discounts, right? We get discounts, I think.
That's what my brother said. He said, hey, now you can get in on all those discounts. I said, okay. When they open stuff back up, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Hi, Susan.
Susan Turner.
And hi, Mother.
Yeah.
I was just talking about you. I guess you heard me doing that. So how will you be spending the holidays this season?
Yeah,
well, you want to tell that story?
That's a good question, isn't it?
There is a question mark around it.
Yeah.
But we had also had some plans.
We're hopeful. And I know this is a really hard decision for lots of us about travel, whether or not to travel or whether to just stay in our space where we've been for all these months. We're hoping, Bill and I have gotten tested several times for COVID. And so far we're clear. So our plan is to go and see to go spend time with the girls and their families in California. We're to leave after the first of this next week. But that's all contingent.
She's going out first, and then maybe I'll follow her, but you're hoping I will. I know, and I'm planning on it.
I can't imagine not.
You know, to get into our kids' house, we have to show our papers that we're COVID free. And then we have to come.
And then we have to get tested when we get out there.
Sanitized and so.
But it's a little risky, and it's a little, the plug could get pulled on it, I think, but we're hoping that that'll work out, and that I would be staying for almost 3 weeks, because I would actually be Wes' teacher for first grade that first week in January. So he wouldn't go back to where his little small pod school that they've had until because that would give him enough time to have been with us, that there would be no risk of him being affected. So anyway, it's just complicated. Who would have ever thought? But that's what we're dealing with, and so we're hoping to see them over the holidays.
So Lisa will teach West, who is our first grandson, and then my responsibility will be to play with Cedar, who is our second grandson.
Bill's going to have bruises when he gets home, because they love to wrestle and tumble on the floor. So,
hi, Sharon. Hi, Raphael. Good to see you,
Hi.
Rafa. Glad that you're joining us. Yeah, Rafa could give us some advice. This is first baby's Christmas, and we're so happy for you and Coco as you've welcomed little Noah home.
Little boy.
But he's not staying little.
No.
My goodness.
He looks like a little boy now. He's
up and going.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So cute. So makes Christmas more fun.
How is the White House preparing him room? Well, we have been doing we spend time with the Lord every day. And I have also been, encouraged from the devotionals that I wrote in November for December. And I've been tracking right along with the Prepare Him Room daily devotional countdown. Every day, I receive the same mail out that goes to everybody who's on our app or our web plan, and today, December 17th, read about Jesus being crucified between two thieves in fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy that he would be numbered among the transgressors. I mean, it's profound to me to reflect upon the foretelling of prediction, prophecy, and promise, and then to see it fulfilled in Jesus, and to imagine that 2,000 years ago, when it was happening in the real of history, that his first followers were reflecting upon it, and then didn't want us to miss the fact that over 300 predictions found fulfillment in the coming of Messiah. So that's the first thing we're doing. I mean, it's a biblical foundation to enter into the story. And then, of course, I'm living it as I'm preparing messages. But then we've also been involved in our outreach to our neighbors. I mean, to across the street, and then across the caddy corner and to our right. And so we've made those contacts. But something that I'd love for you to talk about is she has defaulted into an internet ministry of just sending the link out so that our relatives can connect all across the nation.
Well, early on, whenever we were doing all the virtual worship services, I would come across people that were not involved. Some people that I'd formerly worked with, family that live out of state, some of my older, like my parents and their friends in Missouri, that their church was having a harder time with the digital online experience. They hadn't been used to it. Like, we had already done a lot of preparation beforehand so that it was a much easier transition for our church. But a lot of people, Bill's mom had a hard time with it. So I started sending the link from our app every Sunday morning. And so that has continued because it makes it really easy.
You've got about, what, 20
Yeah, I've got,
people
15, 16 people that every Sunday morning at Christ Journey, when I'm on there at 9 for the 9 o'clock. Right before 9 o'clock, I'm thinking, oh, I gotta send this, because it just makes it so much easier, especially for some of our senior friends and my parents' family and stuff, that they don't have to try to go online and try to find it. I can just text it to them. They can click on the link. It's right there. It's ready to go. It makes it easy. So yeah, every Sunday morning, I'm quickly sending
then
it
some
out.
of them follow up with you immediately,
Yeah, they
and
do.
have comments of
Yeah.
appreciation and inspiration and help. And so that's our prayer for you this season. I know our time is slipping away here, but one way you can help prepare him room in your own heart is by making it easier for others to prepare him room in theirs. And so I would just encourage you, even this week, send out the link, send out the invitation.
For Christmas Eve, especially.
Yeah, for
Sunday and then
Christmas
for Christmas Eve. It's going to be amazing. And just make it as easy and as simple for those that we love to access this experience. And then they can share it with their family. And it'll just make this Christmas a lot better.
We're feeling a little bit sad. We can't all gather in our campuses, but imagine this. We'll be having Christ Journey Christmas at your house together. So please join us then and receive our blessing and our love this season as we prepare him room, as you have as well. Thanks for joining us.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.